Welcome to MBA 680. We're going to take a little look around, see where things are located in the course, and give just a little bit of introduction and how to go about approaching the course to be successful. So we're currently here on the home page, and you will not have the pink border. It's just I wanted to show how you see it. So one thing you'll notice up at the top, when I make announcements, the newer announcements will show on the home page. But always make sure you keep check of the announcements in case something changes along the way. So that's one of the key things that I like about it. You can at least see one or two of your recent announcements on that home page. So on this home page, as you scroll down, just gives you some information about the course, right? This is where you click to watch this course welcome video. Also has the course description, our objectives. If you need help using Canvas, so here's a guide. This one's specifically for mobile guides, but it also can take you to where you can get general information about Canvas. The buttons down here, we have Meet Your Instructor. So if you click on that, that's going to take you to a page where it's going to have more information about the instructor for the course for this session. The course resources, that's going to give you a listing of the textbooks and supplemental materials. In this course, you'll see that you actually access all of that directly in the modules, which are going to make the modules look longer, but it's going to be more organized that way, and you're going to see how it all works together. The course syllabus, you can click on that and it brings you to an electronic syllabus. It has all the information about the grading and the scales and all that good stuff. It also is going to be where you can check your due dates. So for each session, I have various due dates, but when you see the course, you'll be able to see those dates in each of the modules. So that's important, obviously, right? We want to make sure you keep up to date. The learning modules take you to where you can see the modules. Clicking this link here or this link here on your left, it's going to take you to the same spot. Right, so that's one thing. And here's course Q&A. So if you want to ask a question that's general in nature, you can click on that, and that's going to take you to a general discussion board. And so you can reply here and ask the question. Then you can reply back to others, and I'll also be checking that as well, just to help each other out. So that's something good about the course as well. So come back here to the home page. Right, those are the main elements of the home page. Other elements will come back to the modules in a minute. Right, so the grades, if you want to know where you stand in the course, if you click on grades, that'll show you the grades you have. If you do want to look at the Office 365, you can come here, or if you need help getting that, and there's some information in the syllabus. As a student, you should be able to get Office 365 for free with your student email. And then that's the main things that we see here. So when you come into the course, in order to see it and work through it the way it was intended to be seen and worked through, you want to always make sure you go in this modules view. So let's click on modules. And what that brings us to here is the different modules of the course. Right? This first one here is the welcome to class. If you looked at that front page about the about your instructor link, it's the same link as if you come here and look at this. Then if you click on this, again, that ties out with the course resources on the first page or home page. Right, the same here for Q&A. Here are some Canvas resources for students, so if you click on it, it'll take you to a page on that as well. So just getting used to the system or working around in it, just takes a little time. It's pretty user friendly. That's a good thing. And then, if what you see on the modules, so we're going to look at the modules. One, I'm sure if you're like me, you've already looked. It looks very intimidating, or a little intimidating, all these lines, right? But the reason all these lines are on here is because of the approach we're taking with our textbook, and you actually get some credit for interacting and reading the textbook and making sure you get the important information. Right, so let's just look at Module 1. So Module 1, most of the modules work the same. Module 1 does have a couple of additional assignments, but it's where you're getting credit for learning the software. So in each of the modules, you're going to see there's going to be 4 sections. One says Discover, one's going to be Discuss, one's going to be Demonstrate, and one's going to be Deepen. Right, so there's first one about the Discover section. The first thing you'll see here is an overview and to-do list. So currently, here's what it looks like. Kind of talks about the subjects we're going to be looking at in the course, and then just a breakdown of what you need to do in the modules. Right, and what you need to do not only is listed there, but you can see here they're going to be down in the demonstrate section. So in the Discover, we have some learning resources. Some of these are text-related module learning resources. So I just put direct links to each of the chapters. So chapter 1, 2, and 3, instead of just having that one link. The textbook, the way it's set up is, let's see if we can go into it here. Right, load the interactive textbook. Right, so I haven't been in there yet, so it's not going to let me into that part of the book. But what you'll see here, when you go into the book itself, you'll read a section in the book, and then at the end of that section, there's going to be what they call assessment. So some of these are what they call formative assessments, and then each one, as you go along, will start having summative assessments. So what are these assessments, and why are there so many of these assignments in each module? Well, it builds off of each other. So that the book, you read the book, and oftentimes if you're reading the book, you can complete them without even leaving the book. And if you do, you're completing these assessments here. But I wanted to give links down here just in case this is how you decided to access that part. Right, so that's one of the elements you're going to be using. Right, then the second element here you see is homework. Right, one of the assignments up here in Module 1 only is actually an assignment on how to do homework assignments. Right, so when you look at the homework, what you're going to see opportunities to where you're going to be able to complete the homework up to 3 times, and your score is going to be the average of those 3. So to understand how to do that, this first assignment walks you through completing homework assignments, and you'll see how the average works approach. Right, and then the same thing, some of the homework you're going to have is going to be using some graphing skills, meaning how to click on certain parts of a screen and add lines and things to it. So this is a refresher on that. So again, you get credit for that as an assignment just to do a refresher. So I think that's pretty good to get some assignment credits even before you really start actual assignments like we think of them as. Right, so again, the assessments here for each of the chapters, and then you see homework for each of the chapters, or most of the chapters. So homework assignment for chapter 1. You see same thing here as far as the assessments. And then you see homework chapter 2. Chapter 3, the assessments, homework chapter 3, and then you see a quiz. So here's the way I would work through it. I would not work through this line by line. The way I would work through it is, I would first open up and work through my chapter 1 book and answering the questions along the way, right? Because that's not only going to do that, but that's also going to answer my assessments related to chapter 1. And assessments you can repeat as you need to get the correct answer. So this is, help you refresh in your memory and get that down so you have attempts you could get that score where it needs to be. Then after I do the textbook, I'm going to come back up here because we also have some lesson related module resources. So for chapter 1, I'm just going to look at those. So the chapter 1 lecture video, a problem walkthrough video, and some additional author suggested videos. So I may or may not watch all of those if that was me. These two are definitely ones I'd want to watch for sure. And then as I had time, I would watch this one. Right, so again, I read the book for chapter 1, work through those assessments. Now I look through the video and walk through the problem with them. And then I'm going to come down here. Finally, next I'm going to do the homework for chapter 1. Right, the homework assignment for chapter 1. So this is the part where it's not unlimited to get what you want on your grade, but you can take it up to 3 times and you get the average of those 3. So you can use it to your benefit. You can, you can still practice and learn. And then before I left chapter 1, I'd make sure I had me some good notes and had a good foundation, because those notes I can use on my quiz, which is coming up. But the quiz down here is one attempt, but it's on all 3 chapters, right? So I would save this to the end. But after I did my homework for chapter 1, got that where I wanted it to be, then I'd come back up here to chapter 2, the next chapter. And chapter 2, I'd do the book, answer the assessments, right, get that where I wanted it to be. Then I'd come back and watch the lecture video and the problem walkthrough. And if I had time, and look at these additional author suggested videos. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the homework assignment for chapter 2. But after that, I'm going to do the same thing for the next chapter, which is chapter 3. Right, I'm going to do the book first, answering the assessments, which is going to fill out those parts of my demonstrate. Then I'm going to look at the videos for lecture video and the problem walkthrough. And as I have time, the additional author suggested videos. Then I'm going to come down and do the homework for chapter 3. And then after I've done each of the chapters in each of the modules that way, I'm going to do the quiz for that module. And the way the quizzes work, you can use any of your materials or resources. You just can't help each other. But that way we can make sure that we mastered it before we move on to new material. And the other chapters, the number of chapters in each module will vary, but it is the same approach that you want to take in each of the modules. And just, I think if you do chapter by chapter and then put everything together, and right before you take the quiz in each module, that's going to help you. The other thing, which you'll see in the course, because it'll be different each session that the course is offered, obviously, is when we get down here to the demonstrate area, you will be able to see due dates to help guide you and make sure you get all of those completed. So you will see some due dates in there, just to make sure that you stay on track. And again, once those due dates are here, you can also look over at your electronic copy of your syllabus, and it's going to be there as well, or they're going to be there as well. So that's just a little bit about how to get in and work through the course. Again, all the modules are here. There's 10 modules, and then after that, there is a final exam, which is just a couple of questions from each of the chapters. And you can use your notes again for that, but just don't help each other. And just make sure you're in your own account so you're seeing your version of everything. And that should be a good way to at least approach working through the course. Again, I know it looks like a lot, but when you complete those 1 or 2 question assessments as you read the book, that's going to take care of a lot of these assessments along the way, or a lot of these lines. And it helps us if we ever were to run into an issue. It's a lot easier to troubleshoot and find out which exact line it is and take action faster. So hopefully this video helps you a little bit, helps maybe relieve you on thinking it's way too much. If you take it chapter by chapter and start working earlier in the week, that's the key. And don't wait till Sunday and think you can get everything done. That's also important. So hopefully this helps, and I thank you for your time.